Welcome back to Chaos Collectibles. All right, it's been a while since I've been on here, probably about 3 weeks or so. And that's because there's been a lot of shit that's been going on with work keeping me extremely busy, having to do a lot of travel, things like that. So I'm back today. ZoloCon was just last weekend. I did buy tickets for it, but unfortunately I was unable to make it. However, I am going to get the exclusive figure mailed to me. So at the Zoloverse show, that was the other, just on Friday night, I was able to pick up a couple extra figures. And Mike said he's going to mail that Zolo World figure to me along with those. So, on another note, there's, like I said, there's been a lot of stuff going on. So, we got hit with an ice storm about 2 weeks ago, right? And what normally takes 20 minutes for me to get home from my second job took me over an hour because I had to turn around 3 different times due to trees being blocking the road. As trees were snapping off due to the weight of the ice. And unfortunately, I was at my other job the next day and found out that I lost power. At the time, I didn't think it was a very big deal. Later on that night, I realized, okay, so I have ever-dry waterproof basement, okay? And I have a backup battery for my sump pump. However, that backup battery only lasts about 5 hours. So, at about 7:30 that night, I come home to about a ½ inch of water in my basement. Terrible, terrible. Took me about 6 hours with the shop vac, carrying buckets up the stairs, out away from the house and dumping them. But the plus side to this all is I have a cement painted epoxied floor, okay? So my basement is not completely finished. All I had to throw out was a couple area rugs. No big deal. Come in, 6 hours of cleaning, mop it up, next day come back down, throw out just, some things that really didn't matter. So none of my collectibles were damaged. So that is the plus side to all of this, all right? So enough of my rambling. I know I go into this rambling sometimes, right? But straight to the point. So why are we here today? Why are we here? So I believe it was Christmas Eve. I ended up doing a video and was talking about a custom figure I was going to work on. Didn't give any details about it, right? And I said I was going to show it when it was finished. Well, as I was saying that in the middle of the video, it kind of dawned on me that, hey, I'm making this thing for the Zolo contest. I'm not supposed to show anybody anything. So even when I did my little tour of my setups, I had to put this thing aside so nobody can see it. I'm sure when they saw it, they probably knew it was mine anyways, just by the style of the figure, right? So what I did is I took this bad boy right here, right? That bad guy right there that my buddy Matt Watson calls Goro, look-alike, okay? But the body was different. I actually used a Zolan body, okay? So I ended up doing some sculpting to this thing and repainted it, right? So I call this one Barrakus, right? I re-sculpted the face on this bad boy around the mouth, right? Move some of this hair out of the way so you guys can see it. So much more menacing face because I sculpted around the mouth. Sculpted around the mouth, gave him a full repaint, painted the eyes like a wash red so they look very bloodshot, right? Make this guy look angry as fuck, right? And if you notice, he does not have the armbands like the original because it is a Zolan body, right? This is spare flesh-eating head that I had, okay? Use Grim the Executioner armor and painted brown over it, like a brown wash over it, make it look dirty. Custom fur, custom belt, right? Made this belt, everything on this belt's made from scratch. I dropped the head, right? I didn't make that head, but I did sculpt a skull on there, right? Made the fur, right? For the legs there. Made the belt and this. And I also created this weapon, okay? So I don't know if you guys remember or not, but the Horn Demon, remember the original Horn Demon that I did, not the one from the Zoloverse show, but the one that I painted up and I got the bat wings for. And I had that Skull Man casted knife, right? And I used just the handle. I cut the blade off, used the handle for his back so I could slide them wings on, right? Well, this bad boy here, I still had the blade. I still had the blade from that knife, right? I try not to throw anything out. So I had the blade from that knife, and I was like, you know, I want to make a bone weapon. This badass Barrakus goes around, eats his fucking enemies, eats the brains, right? And then he uses their bones to make his weapon. So I used that Skullman knife blade, resin casted, right? I didn't destroy a real Skullman knife. Then I got me a toothpick, and I sculpted around that toothpick, okay? Put it in the oven and repainted it so it's like a bone, like a femur bone, right? And then I put a little slot in that bad boy and slid that knife right in there. So I think that weapon turned out pretty badass, right? So I just wish that the camera picked up on this thing a little bit better, but it doesn't, unfortunately. So this is Barrakus, okay? Custom figure. Pretty excited when I did this one. And it was kind of a last minute project too. I didn't even know what I was going to do. As far as that contest goes, the ideas were a lot more, the rules were a lot more lax than what I originally initiated, because I think that if I would have known that they were going to be that lax, I probably wouldn't have shown off the Voodoo Warrior. But I thought it had to be used with all Zolo parts, but no big deal, it is what it is. But I probably would have just kept the Voodoo Warrior under wraps, or I probably would have kept the, because the other figure that I did that I really liked was already a character from a movie, so I couldn't have used that one. But either way, it is what it is. I want to say congratulations to Mr. Jeremy Watts for winning that competition with the Armor of Gods Hercules. I hope that you pick up some pretty kick-ass shit from Zolo World. Congratulations, buddy. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, show you guys this figure that I made, and kind of give you an update as to where I've been at. Things at work have been crazy. They're going to be crazy for a while, so I don't know how often I'm going to be able to get on here. However, when I do have some pickups, I have something coming from Javaho Creations, Jeffrey Van Hove. I reached out to him a little while back. He just got a hold of me about a week ago and told me that he has mailed my figure for me. And I have a few things coming from that Zoloverse show coming up too. So I've had a couple people reach out over the last several weeks asking me if I want some things. So I just got to take a look at my financial situation, see how that goes, because there's some pretty cool stuff out there that I'm really wanting to pick up. It's just on whether or not I can afford to pick them up right now. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. I'm glad you popped in. Thanks again, as always. And I hope to have something kick-ass for you here pretty soon. All right. Thanks again for hopping in. Until next time. Woo!